GoPro cameras have been around for a long time, like me. And, in fact, I still have the first model. Bought one right away. And it was infuriating because I had a situation where an event happened once a year for 5 minutes. I needed the camera to video that event, and back then there was no way to even know what you were getting. There were no viewfinder. There was a little thing you could look through, but you really had no idea what the camera was seeing or what kind of video you were going to get until it was all over, and then you went somewhere and processed the video, and good luck. And needless to say, the first time I didn't get what I wanted, and I wasn't happy. And I had to wait a whole year for the next 5 minute event to try again. And, over the years, I've got a couple of GoPro 2s. I've got a GoPro 3 Plus Black, even though it's not black, it's silver. And quite honestly, I've been using the 3 Plus Black for most everything. Works fine, does decent video, easy to use, and I've got a lot of accessories for it, extra batteries and all that sort of thing. But it didn't have image stabilization, amongst other things. And, when you're walking along, taking video, if you don't have a gimbal or some sort of stabilization device, the video, to be honest with you, is almost unwatchable. Nobody wants to sit there and watch a picture jump up and down in front of them. After a while, you can't even look at it. So, it came time, I thought, let's get a new camera. So we got this GoPro 9. And, the camera itself is pretty spiffy. It's a nice, tidy package. There's plenty of videos out there that, smiling faces will come on and show you how it works, and if you're a beginner, what to do and what mistakes not to make, and how to do this and how to do that. But they never tell you the ugly side. And at least from my point of view, this is the ugly side of modern GoPro cameras. This camera will shoot 4K, 5K, 20K, I don't know, some number of Ks. Personally, I shoot 1080p, 30 frames per second. I don't have anything that I can watch 4K, 5K, 20K on. So why bother to shoot in that resolution? All it does is eat up data on your card, which is part of the problem here. If you use this camera in the higher resolutions, it will only record a 4 gigabyte clip. And then no matter what you're videoing, it'll start another clip. Every 4 gigabytes, it'll make a new clip. And if you're shooting something that lasts a half an hour or 15, 20 minutes or whatever, at the higher resolutions, you're going to get about 4 minutes to 5 minutes of video per 4 gigabyte clip. So when you're done, you end up with a whole basket full of clips. And in this particular mode, the 1080p 30 frames per second, I was able to get 11 minutes and 50 seconds per clip, per 4 gigabyte clip. And, I probably should explain that the main reason that I bought this camera was to use in motorsports. It has GPS in it, and it'll overlay the route you took. It'll overlay speed. It'll overlay sort of G-forces and some other things on the video. So, I thought this is pretty cool. So the other day I was out and we were doing something, and actually it was a 4-hour deal, but I ended up with, let's say, an hour and 10 minutes worth of video. That was essentially 9 different clips. And I don't know which problem to talk about first, because one of the problems with their clips is their cockamamie numbering system. You have no way of understanding the order of the clips. They don't segregate them really according to time. So when you look, on your chip, there's just a basket of clips there, and it's up to you to figure out when you try to stitch a video back together. Let's say I was there for an hour and 10 minutes. I'd like to have an hour and 10-minute video. So you got to get all the clips in order and lay them back in some processing program to end up with a full-length movie that's in the proper order. And if you've got the camera mounted on a race car, let's say, all your clips look alike because they're essentially all taken from the same vantage point. So you can't even look at the thumbnails and figure out which one goes where, because essentially they all look the same. That's just part of the problem. The more serious problem is that when you get done taking pictures with your new spiffy GoPro 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever the hell they're up to now, you can't see them. The only way you can see the clips is on your phone, if you have the latest, greatest $1,000 telephone. Now, you can look at them on the little screen on the GoPro. Isn't that wonderful? And then, of course, if you really want a big screen, then you can go to the bigger screen on your telephone. And if you've gone and bought the latest, greatest tablet with the latest, greatest Android in it, then you can maybe watch the clips on your tablet, because older tablets won't run the quick software. So you just end up, it's kind of like buying a house, Well, I already have a washer and dryer. Sorry, your gas washer and dryer don't work anymore. You got to have electric. And your lawnmower, your gas mower, you can't use that anymore. You got to get electric lawnmower, and so on and so forth. Everything that you have that worked with your older GoPros doesn't work with a new one. You got to get, forget running quick on your desktop or your laptop, because unless you have the super duper latest greatest processor in your computer or your laptop, it's not going to run the software that you need to see these videos. So what I was able to do after some research is take the video clips, copy them to the computer that can't open them. I mean, even VLC won't open them. And then download a program called Handbrake and put the clips into Handbrake, and that converts the clips into a format that you can see on the computer. So I had 9 video clips that were, for the sake of argument, 25 gigabytes worth of data. And by the time I got done with Handbrake and all the other nonsense I had to go through to stitch this thing back together to make a minute 10 video, I ended up with 2.56 gigabytes of data. So my 25 gigabytes of original data got squished down to 2.56 gigabytes. Now, is it watchable? Well, yeah, it is, but it's just infuriating. I still have GoPro Studio that I use to edit the videos that I take with my GoPro 3 Plus Black, and it works fine. It's actually not a bad program, and I can edit videos there, put my clips together, make a video, watch it on my computer, watch it wherever I want, put it on a thumb drive, No, not with this new camera. You can't do that. GoPro Studio won't even open GoPro clips from this new camera. And of course, they don't make GoPro Studio anymore. I don't think that they even make Quick anymore. They don't really make their own software. So you buy the camera, you got to have the latest, greatest phone, you got to have the latest, greatest tablet, you got to have a new computer, you got to have new editing software. I mean, it's hardly worth it. Now, if you're a guy or person, if you're an it that enjoys making 30-second TikTok videos or, shorts or whatever the hell you want to call them, this is probably an okay camera for you, because I think that's where it's designed. It's designed for those people that want to make a 30-second video and then they can edit it on their phone and they can upload it and move on and do something else. If you're a person that wants to take longer videos, whether it's riding your motorbike through the woods or riding your bicycle somewhere or putting it on your race car to record a half an hour practice session or whatever it is, I don't think that this is the camera for you, because it's just too complicated and too unwieldy to see the footage that you shot, which is the whole point of taking the footage in the first place. I just did a 10-minute video on my drive to work. So I came back, and the first thing I had to do was connect the camera to my phone with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. One is not enough. You got to have both. And move the footage from the camera to this app on my phone. And by the way, the app on the phone only works in vertical mode, doesn't work in horizontal mode. So then you've got to sit there and then determine what to do with the footage that you just moved to your phone, which 10 minutes worth of footage, I don't know how, I didn't time it, but it's not an instant transfer, let me tell you. So I went in and I put some stickers on there. You can put your GPS on there and your mile per hour and all that kind of stuff. And I did that. Now you got to wait another 10 or 15 minutes while it processes the changes that you made. And then you get all done and okay, save to your phone. Now you got to wait another 10 or 15 minutes. And really, you can't just go into the thing, hook your cable to it, hook it to your computer, move the file over, open the file and edit it. You can't do that unless you have all this other crap to go with it. And that's just BS, to be honest with you. I just, I'm an old guy. Dogs and old people don't like change. But as good as this camera is, it's almost worthless because it's too complicated to do anything with the footage that you shot. I could take my phone and shoot the same footage, same quality, and do whatever I want with it, quite simply. I mean, and the phone has image stabilization in it. I'd just rather not attach my phone to the race car while it's whizzing around the racetrack, So, but I think, if that's what you want to do, this is not really the camera for you. And, it's just, sometimes it's upsetting when you see all these people that want to promote the hell out of these products and they don't tell you the ugly side of it. And for me, that's the ugly side of it. Every time I turn around, there's another hiccup. Sometimes the camera wants to talk to the app. Sometimes it doesn't. I was sitting at the table the other night, and the camera was sitting there and suddenly decided to start recording all by itself. I have no idea why. But it's just too many glitches. My opinion is that the GoPro people have forgotten where they came from. They forgot what their mission is. And, that happens to a lot of people. It's unfortunate because really the camera by itself is a nice piece. I have no arguments about the camera itself. It's just too hard to use. I mean, it's, this particular one, sometimes you push on the power button, sometimes it comes on, sometimes it doesn't. You know, it just seems to have a mind of its own. And you would think that these people, after all this time, this is a 9, so this is the 9th generation at least, that they would have this figured out. But they don't seem to. I mean, I'm half tempted just to go back to my GoPro 3 Plus black, even though it's not, and use it, because I can't do anything with the video that this camera makes. And, I don't understand that. I really just don't understand it. I'm sure somebody out there has an answer, but I don't. So that's my rant. Buyer beware. Make sure that you understand, if you're going to buy one of these, what you're going to need in order to process the film or the footage, and in order to be able to see it on your computer or your television, however you want to see it. If you're happy watching your videos on your little handy telephone, good for you. If you're happy making talk-tick videos or shorts or whatever they want to call them, and they're only 15 seconds, good for you. But for me, I don't know. I am not happy. Not sure which one I am, but I'm not happy.